back to Late Night, everybody. Lately, there has been an important conversation happening surrounding the role of nepotism in the entertainment industry. Well, this past week, Twitter discovered that one of my writers is a Nepo baby, and I want to give him the opportunity to address the controversy. So here he is, Ben Warheit.
Hi. So I want to address what people have been saying about me. First of all, I was never trying to hide who my parents are. I fully acknowledge that my upbringing was largely responsible for my career success. My father is David Warheit, and my mother is Christine Chastain Warheit.
Wait, I'm sorry, how are your parents famous?
Yes. So my mom was the head librarian at Christiana Hospital in Delaware. And my dad was a research scientist at DuPont for 30 years. So yes, in many respects, I started on third base because of my famous parents.
Sorry, so your dad was some kind of scientist?
Yeah, well, he's one of the top 50 or 60 fiber toxicologists on the East Coast. I mean, he's no Rick Von Suzanne, but he's up there. He knows him.
I've never heard of him.
All right, well, you know, that's the thing about nepotism, though, Seth. It's not just about name recognition. There's a lot of other more subtle privileges that come with having famous parents.
Okay, so what sort of privileges did you get from them?
Okay, well, for example, when I was growing up, sometimes my dad would go to science conferences in Europe, and when he came home, he would always bring me back a Toblerone candy bar. Now, you couldn't get one of those in Delaware. Not in Wilmington, not then. Now, was that fair to the other kids? No. But it happened. And I'd be lying if I said it didn't influence how I got where I am today.
Okay, and your mom, she does what again?
She was head librarian at Christiana Hospital.
So she was a librarian?
Yeah. Well, she was the director of all libraries at Delaware's biggest hospital.
Okay. So because she was so important to doctors, you benefited from getting good medical care, letters of recommendation, stuff like that?
Yeah, no. But every time I went with her to work, I got to eat for free in the hospital cafeteria. And I could get any soup I wanted and bring it back to the library and eat it. And any soup they had. Name a soup, any soup.
Now, do you want me to...
Anyway, think of any soup that...
Split pea soup.
If they had it. You know. Any soup that they had. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I realized that hearing this, it might make it harder for people to root for me and think of me as an everyman. But I just want to own up to it.
Ben, I don't think you're a Nepo baby.
I am, it's okay.
No. I think you just want your name associated with the Nepo baby conversation, so you seem more important.
Well, that's kind, Seth. You're really being kind, but I'm fully willing to accept, all responsibility for my privileged position.
Ben, the Nepo baby conversation is about people who benefited from having famous parents, and frankly, I just don't think your parents are famous.
Really?
Yeah, it just sounds like they're regular people.
Regular people, okay. Just run-of-the-mill, ordinary, nothing special about them kind of people?
I mean, not to be rude, but yeah, sort of.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe you'd like to tell them that to their faces?
What?
Oh, my parents are here at the show. Hey, Mom and Dad. Yeah, hi. Yeah, Seth wants to tell you exactly what he thinks of you.
No, I don't.
No, go on. Tell my parents you don't think they're special.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, no, that they're, how did you put it, a dime a dozen?
I never said a dime a dozen.
No, you just implied they're a couple of corn-fed simpletons of poor breeding stock.
I would not say that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Seth. Tell my parents you think they're as common as dog on the sidewalk.
Is that what you think about us, Seth? That we're as common as dog on the sidewalk?
I don't think that.
Well, why don't you just let it out, Seth? Tell my dad you think he's a bad scientist that nobody cares about.
I'm not a bad scientist. I know Rick von Susani.
I don't think you're a bad scientist.
Oh, well, no. You know what? Then this is really messy, Seth, because I'm going to have a little bit of trouble understanding what exactly it is you do think.
I think...
No, yeah, just tell my parents. Look them right in the face and tell them what you think of them.
I think they're famous.
How famous?
Really, really famous.
Wow. So you probably want their autograph.
I do. I do want their autograph.
Yeah, I figured. You know. These are going to be $50 each for you, and you know why they're so expensive?
Because they're very famous, very special people.
And what are the children of very special, famous people called?
Nepo babies.
What was that?
Nepo babies.
A little louder for the people at home?
Nepo babies.
Okay, so that would make me.
A Nepo baby.
Okay, was that so hard?
I think we're about out of time.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Give a round of applause to Ben Warheit and his very famous people, famous parents, everybody. We'll be right back.